Maidu, aka Nyamasam, and today we are going to share a very short message about procrastination. And how we can overcome procrastination. Is it okay? Now, procrastination is to delay doing something that you ought to do, usually because you don't want to do it. To delay in doing something that you are supposed to do, but you just don't want to do it. So you are delaying on it. That is procrastination. Now, when you read Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 10, it says that work with all your might, because when you die, you can't do any. You must work with all your might, because when you die, you can't do it. Now, when you read the same Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 4, it says that do not waste time in working. You don't have to waste time in working. John chapter 9 verse 4 also says that we must do the work of Jesus now before it's too late. We must do the work of Jesus now before it's too late. When you read Luke chapter 12 verse 40, it's also talking about we being ready, or we must be always ready. You must be always ready. Now let us look at the types of procrastination. The types of procrastination. Number one is what? Anxious. Being anxious is the feeling that we have when we are nervous or worried. A feeling we have when we are nervous or worried. Now, there are some people, they have to do something in life. They have to move on. They have to do something better for themselves. But because they feel so nervous and worried, they just want to procrastinate. They procrastinate all the time because they feel so worried and nervous. Number two is fun. That is experience or activity that is enjoyable and exciting. An experience or an activity that is enjoyable or exciting. We may be in a situation where it is enjoyable to us, in a situation where we are enjoying, we are having fun, and so we just don't want to move forward, we just don't want to do something for ourselves, or because even though we have something to do, we procrastinate because what? We are having fun or we are enjoying. That is fun. Number three is what? Plenty of time. That is what? The quantity that is enough or more than enough in someone doing something. The quantity that is enough or more than enough in someone doing something. Some people think there are more time in doing things, and so they choose to procrastinate, to wait for the last minute before they make the things to be done, or before they do what they are supposed to do. So they procrastinate. Number four is what? Perfectionist. That is what? Not satisfied with anything unless it is completely or has no mistakes. There are some people, when they are doing things or they are supposed to do something, they perfect it too much that they want it to be so perfect that they don't want to see mistakes in it. And in doing so, they procrastinate. They push the time that they are supposed to bring out what they are doing, they push it forward. Why? Because they want to be perfect in what they are doing. And then number five is what? The lack or lack. That is good things that happen to people by chance. People believe in luck. People believe in miracles. And so they don't want to do things or do things that they are supposed to do. And so they wait for luck. They wait that things are being done or things happen to them by chance. And then being overwhelmed, that is the difficult to deal with something. Difficult to deal with something, that is being overwhelmed. There are some people, they have something to do in life. Is it okay? They have a project they have to do in life, but they feel so overwhelmed that they find it very difficult in doing it. And then the seventh one, or the last one on my list, is the imposter. That is pretending to do something else in order to trick people. There are some people in their life, they seem too busy, like they are doing something good for themselves. But when you get to know them, when you get closer to them, you realize that they are actually not doing anything. There is nothing good coming out of what they are doing, or they are not very much productive. I call them the imposter. And so let's look at the causes of procrastination. What brings about procrastination? Number one is what? Perfectionism. The act of not getting satisfied with anything unless completely and has no mistake. Number 2 is what? The fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown. That's the feeling you get when you are afraid or worried that something bad is going to happen in the future or as you move on. There are some people, they are so afraid of the future. They don't know what will happen in the future. They don't have faith in themselves, and so they procrastinate. Number 3 is I will do it later or doing it later. These are people who delay in doing things. They push the things they are supposed to do forward. If they are supposed to do it today, they push it to tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, they will say next week. When next week comes, they will say next year. And so they push it forward. Number 4 is what? Work on easy tasks. There are some people, they just don't want to challenge themselves. They just don't want to challenge the economy. They just don't want to move forward or move into higher dimensions. And so what they do is that they work on easy tasks, things that are very easy to them. So they procrastinate in getting higher results or getting good things. Number 5 is what? The lack of motivation. There are some people, when they are doing something, they need to be motivated in order to do it very well, in order not for them to procrastinate. And so they lack motivation, or when they lack motivation, they put everything aside, or they choose to procrastinate. Number 6 is how to start something. You might have a very big idea, you must have a very big knowledge about doing something, but how to start it becomes a problem. How to start it becomes a problem. And so you keep on what? Procrastinating. You keep on procrastination. Number 7 is what? Distraction. That's the act or process of damaging something so badly that it does not exist or cannot be used or repaired. There are some people in doing things, they are so afraid of destroying things. That is, let's take it for example, I'm using this camera to do a project. Is it okay? But I'm so afraid that I will spoil this camera. Maybe I will misuse this camera, or this camera will get spoiled. And so I procrastinate in what I'm supposed to do. Is it okay? Just because of that. That is distraction. Number 8 is hard work. That is the uneasy activity done regularly, especially in order to earn money or reward. There are some people, they just don't want to work hard. They just don't want to put much effort in everything they are doing. And so it helps them, or they procrastinate whilst they are doing things. Number 9 is failure. That is not having the ability to get successful or achieve something. There are some people, they feel that they are failures. Everything they do, it doesn't go well. And so they procrastinate in doing things because they know that the next action they will take, they will procrastinate. Number 10 is what? Lack of focus. Lack of focus. Let me read what I have here. Not having the ability to give special attention to a particular person or thing, or to make people do things. Is it okay? Some people, they lack focus in doing things. In the little thing, they switch focus. Let's say they just want to be a camera person. Is it okay? Or they just want to venture into a business. But immediately they lose focus in doing so. So they procrastinate. Is it okay? And so overcoming procrastination actually means to successfully control the delay of doing something that you are ought to do, to successfully control the delay of doing something that you are supposed to do. It means that you don't have to wait for somebody to tell you to do something on time. You must make sure that you force yourself and you do it, and do it well on time. Is it okay? So these are the things that will help us to overcome procrastination. Number 1 is what? Recognition. Recognition, being recognized. Is it okay? We must make sure that in a society, when we see somebody doing something good, the outcome of what somebody has done is better, we must recognize the person. And then number 2 is, why must we procrastinate? Number 2 is, why must we procrastinate? Number 3 is what? Somebody to supervise. Somebody to supervise. When we are doing things and you have somebody to supervise, you will never procrastinate, because you know that when you are doing it and you do it wrong, or when you are doing it and you don't do it on time, you are going to be accused of or punished or something like that. And so somebody to supervise. Number 4 is what? Act as you go. Act as you go. Let me explain something small here. When we say act as you go, as you are moving on in life, as you are doing things in life, you act according to what you are doing. You move a step further to what you are doing. That is act as you go. Number 5 is what? Reward. Number 5 is reward. When somebody is doing something that acquires a reward, or that means that the person must have a reward, we must reward the person. We must give the reward to the person. Is it okay? Number 6 is what? Commit to a task. Being committed to a task. You must make sure that you are very committed to everything that you are doing. You must make sure that in every project that you have, you are very committed to it. Number 7 is forgiving yourself. When you make a mistake, you forgive yourself and you move on. Number 8 is adopt anti-procrastination strategies. You must sit down and plan yourself very well. Plan very well to know when and where to do things so you don't procrastinate. Now let's go into the Bible. When we read Matthew chapter 1 verse 14, it talks about the parables of the wedding feast. That says that what? Procrastination can make you miss the kingdom of God and great things of God. Procrastination can make you miss the kingdom of God and the great things of God. Is it okay? Now, number 2 is Matthew chapter 25, verse 1 to 13. It also talks about the parables of the 10 virgins. And so he says that be wise and prepare to meet and face problems to gain the kingdom of God. To gain the kingdom of God. The last one, number 3, is what? Give no offense. Give no offense. When you read 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 1 to 2, he says that you don't receive the grace of God in vain. Put it to work and you receive favor. We don't receive the grace of God in vain. You put it to work and you receive favor.